All right, so are you getting ready for that big Aviation Ground Systems Engineer interview?
Well,
We are about to make those pre-flight checks a breeze for you today
okay.
because we've got a stack of RoleCatcher's guides,
Right.
and they are packed with insights to help you nail those tough questions.
Yeah,
And hey, you might even pick up some career tips along the way.
for sure.
Did you know that this role is projected to grow faster than average over the next decade?
It is.
That's right. There's a real need out there for skilled folks just like you.
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunity.
Yeah.
It's a fascinating field.
Yeah.
And honestly, a crucial one.
Okay.
Behind every smooth airport operation is a team of dedicated aviation ground systems engineers.
So let's get down to business
Okay.
before we jump into specific questions.
All right.
One thing that RoleCatcher really stresses is researching the company and the role.
Yeah.
It sounds basic, but think of it like knowing the airport layout
Mm-hmm.
before you even step inside. You can tailor your answers and show you've done your homework.
Absolutely. That level of preparation demonstrates genuine interest and initiative.
Right.
And speaking of preparation, RoleCatcher also offers AI-powered tools
Oh, cool.
that can analyze job descriptions
Wow.
and help tailor your CV.
That's fantastic.
It's like having a personal assistant for your job search.
Very cool. Now, let's say you're sitting across from the interviewer and they ask, how did you become interested in aviation ground systems engineering?
Okay.
What's the best way to approach this?
This is your chance to let your passion shine through.
Yeah.
The interviewer wants to see what sparked your interest in this specific field.
Right.
Avoid generic responses.
Yeah.
Instead, think about a specific moment or experience that ignited your passion.
And RoleCatcher has a great example of this in their entry-level profile.
Okay.
They talk about someone whose interest was sparked by a school trip to an air traffic control tower.
Oh, cool.
Seeing those systems in action, the complexity and precision,
Yeah.
that's what hooked them.
Okay.
It's a much more compelling answer than just saying, I've always loved airplanes.
Exactly. The more specific and personal you can be,
Yeah.
the more memorable you'll be.
That's a good point.
Now, getting into the technical side, you might encounter a question like, can you describe your experience with designing and implementing ground support equipment?
Okay.
How would you tackle this one?
This is where you showcase those relevant projects.
Right.
Did you design a new system for refueling?
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe you improved the efficiency of baggage handling?
Okay.
Really dive into the specifics.
Yeah.
What were the challenges you faced, and how did you overcome them?
Okay.
RoleCatcher highlights skills like equipment maintenance, repairing, and troubleshooting is crucial, so make sure to weave those in if you can.
Yeah, it's all about connecting the dots
Right.
between your experience and the job requirements.
Yeah.
The interviewer wants to see that you can handle the nuts and bolts of the role.
Mm-hmm.
And don't be afraid to get a bit technical here.
Okay. This is your chance to show off your expertise.
Now, a question that seems straightforward but can actually be a great opportunity to stand out is, how do you stay up to date with developments in aviation ground systems engineering? Yeah.
Continuous learning is key in any technical field,
Yeah.
especially one as dynamic as aviation.
Yeah, for sure.
The interviewer wants to see that you're proactive
Yay.
and dedicated to staying ahead of the curve.
RoleCatcher's got you covered here.
Okay.
They suggest attending industry conferences,
Oh, there's
subscribing to relevant publications, and even following industry leaders on social media. They even provide links to resources.
Oh, wow. What I find fascinating is that RoleCatcher goes beyond just listing these resources.
Okay.
Their AI can actually analyze job descriptions
Yeah.
and suggest specific areas where you might need to brush up your knowledge.
Oh, wow.
It's like having a personalized study guide tailored to the jobs you're applying for.
Wow, that's really impressive. It takes the guesswork out of staying current.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Now, before we move on, let's say you're asked about troubleshooting issues with aviation ground systems.
Okay.
How should someone approach this common question?
The key here is showcasing your problem-solving process.
Okay.
Think about a specific example where you faced a technical challenge.
Right. Yeah.
Walk the interviewer through your approach step by step.
Mm-hmm.
Did you start by analyzing data?
Okay.
Did you consult manuals or colleagues?
Right. And it's not just about finding a solution.
Right.
It's about demonstrating your thought process.
For sure.
Did you stay calm under pressure?
Mm.
Did you communicate effectively with your team?
Right.
These are all qualities that interviewers are looking for.
Absolutely. They want to see that you can think critically and logically,
Yeah.
especially in a high-pressure environment.
Okay.
Now, project management skills are also super important in this role.
Yeah.
So let's talk about how you'd answer a question about your experience in this area.
Okay, so the interviewer asks, Can you describe your experience with project management in the Aviation Ground Systems Engineering field? What are the key points to hit here?
You'll want to highlight your organizational skills,
Okay.
your ability to meet deadlines
Mm-hmm.
and manage budgets, and your experience leading teams.
Okay.
Again, think about specific projects you've worked on.
Yeah.
Maybe you spearheaded the implementation of a new safety system.
Mm-hmm.
What were the key stages of the project? How did you keep everyone on track and ensure a successful outcome?
And RoleCatcher's AI actually provides feedback on your interview answers.
Oh, wow.
You can record yourself answering practice questions, and it'll tell you if you're on the right track.
Oh, that's really helpful.
It even analyzes your tone and body language to help you project confidence.
It's like having a virtual coach to help you refine your interview skills.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to a topic that's crucial in aviation FAA regulations and compliance.
Mm-hmm.
How would you advise someone to approach a question about their experience in this area?
Okay, well, this is where a solid understanding of safety protocols is absolutely essential.
If the interviewer asks, "Can you describe your experience with FAA regulations and compliance?" how can someone showcase their knowledge effectively?
Start by briefly explaining what the FAA is for anyone who might not be familiar.
Okay.
You could say something like, the Federal Aviation Administration sets the safety standards for all aspects of aviation in the U.S. In my previous role, I ensured that all our systems and procedures were compliant with these regulations.
That's a great way to demonstrate your understanding of the bigger picture.
Right.
Then you can dive into specific examples of how you've applied those regulations in your work.
Right.
Did you ever have to update a system to meet new FAA requirements?
Mm-hmm.
Did you conduct safety audits or train colleagues on compliance procedures? These are all great examples to share.
Yeah, it's not just about knowing the rules. It's
Right.
about showing that you take safety seriously
Sure.
and are proactive in ensuring compliance.
This ties into another important question that interviewers often ask. Okay. Can you describe your experience with safety management systems in the Aviation Ground Systems Engineering field?
Okay.
This one really builds on the previous question. What are some key things to emphasize here?
Focus on specific safety programs you've developed or implemented.
Good.
Have you conducted risk assessments or developed safety training programs?
Right.
Share examples of how you've gone above and beyond to create a culture of safety in your previous roles.
Right. The interviewer wants to see that safety isn't just a box you check. It's a core value that you embody in your work.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground on the technical side, but what about those questions that assess your ability to work with others?
Okay.
How would you approach a question about collaboration?
Collaboration is key in this field.
Yeah.
Aviation ground systems engineers work with all sorts of people, from mechanics and technicians to air traffic controllers and airport management.
Right.
When asked about collaboration, share an example of a time when you had to work effectively with a diverse team to achieve a common goal.
So this is a chance to showcase those soft skills, right? Communication, teamwork, conflict resolution, being able to listen to different perspectives.
Exactly, and you can even tie those skills back to the technical aspects of the job.
Okay.
For example, you could talk about how you worked with a software developer to integrate a new system with existing infrastructure.
Okay, last question for this segment. Data analysis is becoming increasingly important in all aspects of aviation. How would you suggest someone tackle a question about their experience with data analysis and reporting?
You want to highlight your analytical skills
Okay.
and your ability to use data to make informed decisions.
Sure.
Maybe you use data to identify patterns and equipment failures and developed a preventative maintenance schedule.
Yeah.
Or maybe you analyzed passenger flow data to optimize gate assignments.
And remember, RoleCatcher's AI can help you identify the specific data analysis skills that are most relevant to the roles you're interested in.
Right?
It can even help you tailor your resume and cover letter to emphasize those skills.
It's a powerful tool for showcasing your qualifications and demonstrating your readiness for the job.
Absolutely. Okay.
Okay.
So we are going to take a quick break, and we will be right back with you.
Sounds good. It's amazing how data is transforming the aviation industry. It's like having a constant stream of feedback to help us optimize everything from safety to efficiency.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've covered some of the most common technical questions that you might encounter in your interview.
Right.
But let's not forget about the career aspects.
Yeah.
RoleCatcher has a ton of insights on career paths and professional development in this field.
Mm-hmm.
How can someone weave that knowledge into their answers to impress the interviewer?
It's a great point. You can really stand out by showing that you've thought about your long-term goals.
Okay.
and how this role fits into your overall career aspirations.
Mm-hmm.
RoleCatcher highlights some interesting advancement paths, like becoming a director of maintenance
Oh, wow.
or even a chief maintenance officer.
That's definitely something to keep in mind. You could even mention those roles in your interview.
Right. For example, you could say, I'm excited about the opportunity to contribute to this team and grow my skills in the long term. I'm particularly interested in the path towards management, and I see this role as a valuable stepping stone in that direction.
It shows ambition and foresight, which are qualities that employers value.
Yeah.
And don't forget about certifications. RoleCatcher lists several associated certifications like Certified Aviation Manager, CAM, or
Oh,
Certified Facility Manager, CFM.
right. Mentioning these certifications demonstrates your commitment to professional development. You could say something like, I'm currently pursuing my CAM certification to further enhance my knowledge of airport operations and management.
It shows that you're invested in your career and dedicated to staying at the forefront of the industry.
Mm.
And speaking of staying ahead, RoleCatcher's AI features can really help you personalize your approach to professional development. It can analyze job descriptions and identify the specific certifications that are most sought after in your desired field. It's like having a personalized roadmap for career advancement. Now, let's touch on something that often comes up in interviews.
Okay.
The pros and cons of the job. RoleCatcher's Guide has a whole section on this. How can someone use this information to their advantage?
It's about showing that you've done your research and understand both the rewards and the challenges of the role. RoleCatcher highlights things like high earning potential and the opportunity for travel as major pros, which are great motivators to mention.
Those are definitely appealing aspects of the job.
Mm-hmm.
You could say, I'm drawn to this field because I enjoy problem solving and working with complex systems, but the potential for travel and career growth are also big draws for me.
It shows that you're realistic but also enthusiastic about the opportunities this career path offers. And remember, you can also use your knowledge of the cons to your advantage. Well, let's say a RoleCatcher mentions that the job can be demanding and require long hours. You could acknowledge this in your interview and say something like, I understand that this is a demanding role that often requires working outside of normal business hours, but I'm a highly motivated and dedicated individual who thrives in fast-paced environments.
That's a great way to turn a potential negative into a positive. It shows that you're not afraid of hard work and that you're prepared for the challenges of the job. Okay, so we've talked about how to leverage RoleCatcher's career insights to impress the interviewer, but what about those curveball questions that seem to come out of left field? How can someone prepare for the unexpected?
The key is to stay calm and composed even if you're thrown a question you weren't expecting. Take a moment to gather your thoughts and don't be afraid to ask for clarification if needed. It's better to take a few seconds to think than to rush into an answer that doesn't make sense.
Right, and sometimes just rephrasing the question back to the interviewer can buy you some time to think. You could say, just to make sure I understand correctly you're asking about, and then rephrase the question.
Exactly. And remember, the interviewer isn't necessarily trying to trick you. They might just be trying to assess your ability to think on your feet and handle unexpected situations.
Which is a crucial skill in any engineering role,
Mhm.
especially one as dynamic as Aviation Ground Systems Engineering. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground on interview preparation, but let's circle back to RoleCatcher's AI features for a moment. We talked about how it can analyze job descriptions and tailor your CV, but it also offers a really cool feature for practicing your interview answers.
Oh, yes, that's a game changer. You can record yourself answering common interview questions, and the AI will provide feedback on your delivery content and even your body language.
It's like having a personal interview coach right in your pocket. How does it actually work?
It uses sophisticated algorithms to analyze your voice tone and facial expressions. It can tell if you're speaking too fast, if you're making eye contact, and even if you're using filler words like or like.
Wow, that's incredible. So it's not just about what you say, it's also about how you say it.
Exactly. And the feedback it provides is incredibly detailed and personalized. It can help you identify areas where you need to improve so you can go into your interview feeling confident and prepared.
That's such a valuable tool, and it takes the pressure off of trying to find a friend or family member to do mock interviews with you.
Absolutely. It's available 24/7, so you can practice anytime, anywhere. Now let's talk about another aspect of interview preparation that often gets overlooked researching the company.
Yes, that's so important.
Hmm.
It's not enough to just know about the job. You need to know about the company culture, values, and mission as well.
It shows that you're genuinely interested in the opportunity and that you've taken the time to learn about the organization you're hoping to join.
And it can also help you tailor your answers to align with the company's values. For example, if you're interviewing with a company that emphasizes sustainability. You could talk about your experience implementing eco-friendly initiatives in your previous role.
It's about demonstrating that you're a good fit for the company, not just the job. And it can also help you ask insightful questions during the interview.
Right? Asking thoughtful questions shows that you're engaged and curious, and it gives you a chance to learn more about the company and the role.
And speaking of asking questions, don't be afraid to ask about the company's approach to professional development or career growth opportunities. It shows that you're thinking long term and that you're invested in your career.
Great advice. Now, let's touch on a topic that can be a bit sensitive. Salary expectations. How should someone handle this question in an interview?
It's important to research salary ranges for the position and industry before the interview. Websites like Glassdoor and Salary.com can be helpful resources. You don't want to undervalue yourself, but you also don't want to price yourself out of the running.
Right, and it's okay to give a range rather than a specific number. You could say, based on my experience and the research I've done, I'm looking for a salary in the range of, and then insert the range.
Exactly. And if the interviewer presses you for a specific number, you can always deflect by saying, I'm open to discussing salary further once I have a better understanding of the role and responsibilities.
That's a good strategy. It keeps the focus on your qualifications and allows you to gather more information before committing to a number. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground on interview preparation, but let's not forget about the importance of mindset. How can someone go into an interview feeling confident and ready to succeed?
Mindset is everything. It's about believing in yourself and your abilities. Remember, you've been invited to this interview for a reason. The hiring manager sees something in your resume and experience that aligns with the role.
Right, it's a chance to showcase your skills and show them why you're the best candidate for the job.
Exactly. And remember, interviews are a two-way street. It's not just about them evaluating you, it's also about you evaluating them. Ask questions, engage in the conversation, and make sure it's a good fit for both sides.
So go in there with a positive attitude, be yourself and let your passion shine through, and don't forget to use all the resources available to you, including those amazing AI-powered tools from RoleCatcher.
They can really give you that extra edge and help you land your dream job.
It's so true that positive energy can really make a difference.
Okay, before we wrap up, there are a couple more things I want to touch on that RoleCatcher emphasizes.
Right.
First, remember the soft skills we talked about, like communication and teamwork?
Yeah.
Those are gold in this field.
Absolutely. You're going to be interacting with so many different people in this role.
Right.
Mechanics, technicians, air traffic controllers, airport management. You need to be able to communicate effectively with everyone.
So when you're answering those interview questions, think about how you can showcase those soft skills.
Right.
Did you ever have to explain a complex technical concept to someone who wasn't an engineer?
Yeah.
Did you ever have to mediate a disagreement between team members? Those are great stories to share.
It's all about demonstrating that you can work effectively in a team environment, which is essential in aviation.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing I wanted to mention is the importance of asking thoughtful questions at the end of your interview. Right. It's your chance to show that you're genuinely interested and that you've been paying attention. RoleCatcher has a whole section on strategic questions to ask. What are some of your favorites?
One that I always like is, what are some of the biggest challenges facing the aviation industry right now?
Okay.
It shows that you're thinking about the bigger picture and that you're interested in the future of the field.
That's a great one. And it also gives the interviewer a chance to share their insights and perspectives, which can be helpful for you in evaluating the opportunity.
For sure. Another good question to ask is, what opportunities are there for professional development within the company? It shows that you're ambitious and that you're looking for a company that invests in its employees.
And it also gives you a sense of the company's commitment to growth and innovation.
Right.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
We talked about specific interview questions, career insights, and even those awesome AI-powered tools from RoleCatcher that can help you tailor your answers and practice your delivery.
It's been a very comprehensive deep dive into what it takes to succeed in an aviation ground systems engineer interview.
Absolutely. But before we let you go, I want to leave you with one final thought. Remember, you've got the skills, you've got the knowledge, and now you've got the confidence.
Yes.
Go in there, ace that interview, and launch your career in this amazing field.
And remember, the sky's the limit in the world of aviation ground systems engineering.
Absolutely. Good luck out there.
Thank you.